Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the idea of total euphoria. Being in a euphoric state, what's it like, how do you achieve one, and why does life sometimes just have this way of just working out? Because sometimes you can be in the really deepest, darkest, miserable pits of your existence, and it can feel like it's never going to end, and it can feel like the world is constantly against you. And then other times, it just feels like everything is just going to work itself out. So what's going on there? That's something to do with the human nature, the emotions that we all go through, the cycles, the ebbs and flows of life, and all that sort of shit. So I shouldn't be swearing this early in the video. So what you do is, if you want to get into a euphoric state, you need to first get out. Get out and just do shit that is, oh fuck, stop swearing. So you're meant to get out of your house, get out and do stuff, meet new people, find new experiences, that kind of thing. Because look, you've been told time and time again, you've only got one life, live it to the max. You're probably bored of hearing about that, but it's true. People say it for a reason. I get bored of hearing it as well, but I'll tell you what, you need to do it, because honestly, even though while you're in those first moments, say if you're like, all right, to give you an idea, right? This time last year, I was the total opposite of this. I was the total opposite euphoric. I was dephoric, right? And I had this one friend who kept inviting me out, and I just wanted to stay in and just be miserable all fucking day. Stop swearing. And so what I did is I would go, and I felt like I was being a kind of a moody, grumpy kind of arsehole. And I would just sort of sit there and I would try to engage in conversation. I would try my best, but it always felt so difficult for me. And whenever I'd get home, I would kind of breathe this sigh of relief, like, oh, finally back in the comfort zone. I can just be miserable again. And yeah, that kind of carried on and on. And part of me felt like I want to stop doing this, but part of me also felt like that's a bad idea. That's the bad path, because what opportunities do I have if it's just me on my own? I don't have any. As a human race, we have many opportunities because all the connections that we can make here, all these wonderful people in the background that you probably can't see because of the angle. But yeah, I'm having to do this in public because I got kicked out of the last place that I was trying to film. So anyway, that was fair enough anyway. I shouldn't really have been there. So what I'm trying to get at is, if you're in a euphoric state, it's because you've done something. You've earned this state. You don't just, like, if you've won the lottery, sure, you just put the lottery ticket on, but you still put the lottery ticket on, you still did something for it. You have to action in order to, and it doesn't matter what the action is, it's different for everybody. Everybody's action is going to be a little bit different because everybody's life is a little bit different. Maybe you're not like doing the film and the music and stuff, maybe you're writing a book, or maybe you're trying to get a job in retail, or maybe you're trying to get a job in finance, or whatever, you know? We all have different paths in life, and we are all going in our own directions, and we are all trying to learn ourselves inside and out. And I think for getting and achieving the euphoric state, it's learning the out, which is incredibly important, because it's hard to have a euphoric state on your own. Completely on your own, it's not generally going to happen. What tends to happen if you're on your own is, you know, you introspect, you think about the day, you know, you reminisce, you kind of, you know, you can have positive experiences on your own. And, you know, I enjoy my own company. I can be a bit of an introvert, as much as these videos might lead you to believe the opposite. But it's that kind of push through life that kind of gives you this ability to feel on a higher plane, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So when I was going out last year and I didn't really enjoy it and I wasn't feeling it, the reason I kept doing it was because I was thinking about the future. I was thinking about what happens when I get out of this depressive state that I'm in. Once I go up to here, when at the moment I was down there. When I get up to there and I'm still hanging out with these people, what's going to happen there? Because that's a whole connection there, and then there's connections within the connection. You make friends, and then you make friends with their friends, and so on and so on and so on. You know, you're connecting the spider's web of society, you know, a little bit. You become friends with it, because everyone has their first ever friend, right? Well, like the first friend that you ever had then led you to make a couple other friends, and then they made you lead to get a couple more friends, and then you probably met another friend, you know, in some completely different context, and then, you know, you start making a new little web of friends on this side and then this side, and then, you know, they occasionally overlap from time to time, and, you know, sometimes one web will fade and another one will come into the forefront, so on and so forth, because that's the nature of communication between people and human beings, is we go from one person to the next, and building this almost collection of connections collection of connections. I like that. So you kind of see the euphoric state. So in terms of achieving this euphoric state, what you basically do is just remember this phrase: everything will be all right, and if it's not all right, it's not the end. Okay? They stole that from The Exorcist. Mark Kermode is one of his favorite sayings, and that's where I heard it from listening to the Mark Kermode reviews. And it's just such a fun saying, because it really makes you feel good in those times where it's not the end. When you are super down low, when everything feels like it's going wrong, when it feels like life is just punching down on you constantly, and you think, God, can you just leave me the fuck alone? You know? And then eventually you kind of like, you get up, and you kind of stagger around a bit. And this is you kind of getting used to, like, you're probably a bit neutral at this point. You're not great, but you kind of remember how not great you just were. And it feels okay compared to that. You're fine, you're all right, you're whatever, you know? And as time goes on and you keep pushing and better things keep happening and you push yourself and try new things and try new experiences, you will get that euphoric state. For me, what seemed to work was starting this YouTube channel, doing the Johnny Mozza film, going out and meeting fucking like dozens and dozens of amazingly talented and beautiful, fucking really interesting people, having such amazing conversations with everybody, and then, you know, just going around and just being able to be my true self, the true me, not like a version of myself that I thought other people would want. The second I just started being myself rather than being Joshua Morrison, the person, the individual, that changed everything. That changed every single facet of my life for the better in every perceivable way. And I know this isn't going to last forever, this euphoric state. It's going to decline at some point. I'm going to go back down to the depressive state. But when that does happen, I can at least know what to do, what to action. And I think that's the important thing, because every time you go through a hardship, you learn the lesson of that hardship. You know, you say you fail an exam. Next time, you're probably not going to fail the exam. Or, you know, you learn a lesson in life. You know, if you're going to work and you try and make connections with your co-workers, and the first few times you're in the first few jobs, you're not doing a particularly good job at it. You're not doing a great job at socializing because you're quite an introverted, maybe like autistic fucking person like me. And as you do it more and more and more and more, you get familiar with what's going on, the general idea, the connections and social, blah, 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 blah. And you figure out how to become better. And as you do more and more and more of it, you will get better at it. And by the time you're on your 10th job, you're just like making really nice connections with people, and you're meeting them outside of work, and you know, you're not dreading the idea of walking with them back to the bus station, so you don't just run and leave before everyone else does, just as soon as you possibly can so you can avoid everyone. Now you're actually enjoying people's company, even if you're an introvert, because I'm a fucking introvert. Well, at least I feel like I am one, but that's the difference between, I don't know, actioning something and planning something. Because I've stopped planning everything. If I plan something now, it's not going to happen. But if you just do it, like, then there's nothing to worry about. There's really nothing to worry about. And I'm very sorry that this video is a bit all over the place and that I'm very euphoric right now. But I don't know. I wanted to snapshot this moment, this exact moment in time, because I think I feel the best I have ever felt in my fucking life. This channel is a big part of it, but it's not all of it. But it's a massive part of it. And honestly, thank you all so much for all your comments, your likes, and your emails and stuff like that. It means the fucking world to me. I know I don't respond to everything. I want to, but I just don't have the time. But I would I would love nothing more than to actually respond to every single comment with a proper, deep, personalized thing. But I just don't have the time. And I'm very sorry about that. But I do read everything. And a lot of it really, really makes me quite emotional, actually. Some of them, like, that tell me their little story and how they've been inspired by these videos, they fucking make me tear up. And I'm not a teary, like, emotional crybaby type person, but Jesus Christ. It is actually really hard to see them and just sort of go, fuck me. I'm doing something. I don't know what it is. I don't really know what the appeal of this is, but there is something there. Whatever it is. And I think it is just that. Be yourself. Every time I've ever tried to be something other than myself, it has failed. But this time, just chucked something out, you know, chucked the ball of, you know, self-identity out into the field. And it turns out, you know, it was like in a game of rounders, but everyone was floundering, like the catchers, the fielders were trying to grab it, and then they kept fumbling the ball, and then they threw it the other way, and so on and so forth. Hey, there's a dog. That's dog of the day, that one. With the red collar as well, you might actually be able to see him in the background. Hello. So, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah. So euphoria. I hope I've managed to give an idea of what euphoria is. Now let's try and figure out how you achieve this euphoric state. I've covered a little bit of it in terms of get out your comfort zone, try new things. You need to go through negative experiences in order to achieve positive experiences, because part of what euphoria is the comparison. Say if you are like standing at the edge of a cliff that goes all the way down like that, right? There's a huge, beautiful vista in front of you, okay? You're like a kilometer above sea level, right? You can see so much. You can see so much beauty out there, right? Now compare that to, imagine you are at 1 kilometer altitude, but it's just like that's what the land is, and it's a flat plain at 1 kilometer above sea level. And you're looking around, you can't see nearly as much, but you are at the same height. You are at the same point on this graph of euphoria and altitude, right? So what I'm trying to get at is it's the point of comparison that makes it so much more interesting. If you never have a negative experience, how can you have the best experience ever? This is kind of why, at least this is a bollocks, probably very privileged point of view to say this, but this is why whenever I see like a documentary from like, you know, some village in Africa, the kids always, and the people, they always seem so happy, because they have extreme negative things going on in their life, from the abject poverty and all the, you know, maybe horrors of the civil war, whatever is going on in that particular country. You know, I don't think I would survive because I'm used to much nicer, more privileged things. So I don't have that point of comparison to do that, but they do. So they are so much happier despite having less happy lives because of the bad times. The bad times allow the good times to feel that much more good because they feel earned rather than just this is what happens. Look at the amount of depressed billionaires and like millionaires and stuff. There's loads of rich people that are depressed, and like I'm not sympathizing with them in any fucking way, by the way. Don't give a shit. Donate your money to charity or some shit if you're that bloody depressed, because obviously the money's not doing you anything. You know, ooh, money doesn't buy you happiness, but I'm going to keep it all anyway, just in case. Like, anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, euphoria. So basically, what I'm trying to say is you need to go through the bad in order to get to the good, because otherwise it's all just going to be ambivalence, and that'd be okay. It would get boring, you know. That's why I don't want to go to heaven, because imagine that it's just that all the time for infinity. I don't want to go to hell either, because then it's just that for infinity. But I don't know, maybe like get a floor pass to both. Yeah, right. I can't think of much else to say, and I feel like this video has been completely incoherent, but I hope you've managed to get something out of it, and from the fact that this is a real portrayal of what being euphoric, or I don't even know if it is euphoria. I'm just fucking happy, all right? I'm just happy. That's it. Maybe euphoria is the wrong word. Maybe euphoria is like some medical fucking term that I shouldn't be using because I'm, you know, misinformed and that kind of thing. But I don't care. I just wanted to get across the idea that if you just get out and you do stuff and you try things, like the thing that made me so euphoric was like, it was a day that I went out and I didn't really want to go on it. I didn't want to go out that day. I kind of was just like, oh God, okay. Right, well, let's just do it, let's just do it. You know, I kind of wanted to stay in and just edit some of these fucking videos, and I'm very glad I didn't do that. Also, this is why some of the videos have been a little bit all over the place as of late. However, I'm coming back. I'm coming back to the, because they used to be a bit more like, ooh, here is the point, this is the point I am making the point. Now they're just, I don't know what they are. But I like it, I like them a lot. And I hope that you manage to get something out of them, which is just try random shit, see what happens. Go out your comfort zone, do stuff that's cool, do stuff that maybe you don't even want to do at first, and then you get accustomed to it and then you find yourself really liking it. You know, every dream that you have, if you achieve that dream, you're going to get sick of it at a certain point. That's the kind of the thing, because imagine you want to be a rock star, right? And then you become a rock star, okay? Think of all the, it's not all just like down on the stage and like groupies or whatever like is appealing about rock stars to you. It's You know, the waiting at the airports, it's the sitting in the back rooms, it's the tuning your fucking guitar and having to learn the song that you wrote 15 years ago, which you are so goddamn sick of. And you've got to play it for the 100th time because they want to hear it. They want to hear that song. They don't care about the fucking new stuff you're writing. They're not interested. They want to hear that one song. You know, and that really gets you down. You know, these kind of things. You know, hardships will always be there no matter where you are in life. There is no escaping hardship. There is no escaping pain. There is no anything like that. All you can do is get through it and you come out on the other side on top. And yeah, that's going to be everything from me. Thank you so much for watching this. I'm going to do like a walking into the distance thing. But I'm going to keep having to look back because my camera is just sat on my coat. It's actually quite fucking cold. Right. Bye. Right. Coming back now. Please don't be windy.